Okay, next we're going to explore the website eBird. This is a website for citizen science data that is only about birds. First step, click on eBird and click on the link. Now on this website you will find that what you're looking for is in the Explore tab. So we're going to click on Explore. And you can look for one kind of bird, one species, but for today we are going to look at regions. And the first region we're going to look at is where our school is located in Queens, New York. And you can see here how many species there are in Queens. If you want to get a close look at the places in Queens to find these species, these are called hotspots, and we can look at these on a map. Let's click on the map for a moment. And this shows places where lots of people will go to look for birds. And in Queens, you'll notice that a lot of them are concentrated around here near Flushing Meadows Park and down here in Jamaica Bay, but not as many places for birds that people are looking in these areas here. And that's something we'll come back to later. Well, let's go back, because we're not going to use the map today. We'll go back to the overview. This is the number of species, and these are the species that have been seen in Queens. And this is the last person who saw those species. And you can see here that the date is today's date, or actually, I'm sorry, yesterday's date, April 18th. And somebody named Phil Ribelow saw European starling and recorded it on eBird. And if you go down further, you can see all these other folks' names here. Now, what we're looking for is the kinds of species that we can find here in Queens. One easier way to see this is if you go to Illustrated Checklist. And a checklist shows us all of the species that have been recorded in Queens. And it also shows us a photograph to go with those species. So you can see here there have been 368 species observed in Queens. Only 338 have a photo, and only 94 have an audio recording, kind of like we do on VoiceThread, where we just record our voices. And scroll down, find a few species that you want to share. Now, one thing you'll notice that we'll talk about more later is these bar graphs here. And this shows us how often you are going to see these birds if you go look for birds in Queens. You'll notice that some species, it looks like any time of the year, the frequency is rather high, 35% of the time. So that's a pretty high frequency. Other species, you notice that the frequencies are low and then that they drop almost and sometimes to zero during certain parts of the year. And that's kind of a question we want to answer. Why is that? That sometimes we see them and sometimes we don't. And you'll notice that some species you almost never see. And that probably was like one person seeing that bird one time. So this is one of the basic ways to get started on eBird. Have fun, explore, look around, and once you've looked at Queens, look at a location in your home country. Happy exploring, and Talk to you later.